Welcome back to part 2, guys.
Never left. What are you talking about?
Well, they left. They left.
Okay.
They're coming back.
I don't care about them. It's all about me.
You're full of shit. We have fans, and you need to respect them.
But welcome back to episode 2 of our talk about all of the Apex Legends and their balances and the characters and our opinions. If you guys enjoy this video, please check out some of our other videos. That would be awesome. We do some, funny moments stuff.
Yeah, if you like our opinions, come see us play.
Because
it's even worse.
We talk more than we, actually play. But if you guys liked, please like this video, subscribe,
and comment why we're wrong.
Comment why we're wrong. Comment what you want to see us do next. Yeah.
Or what you want to hear us talk about next, because...
Please, any comments. It's radio silence that really hurts our souls.
Yes.
The only person that's commenting is us.
The blood, sweat, and tears is not enough of a reward. We need backlash. Come on, guys.
I want to be hated. I want to be the Apex Jake Paul.
I hate you for saying that.
Exactly.
Well, that's the title of the video now, isn't it?
That's exactly
what I mean, it shouldn't be, but it might be. Paul.
Dude, that's so gonna be the title of the video. And guess who has to make the thumbnail?
Oh, no!
Anyway,
there are worse fates.
Anyways, back to our discussion. The next legend that we have is
It's Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
You guys, we're talking about Bangalore now.
Oh, my main. Or was my main? I'm not sure. I like Bangalore a lot.
Yes, Bangalore, the one champion, or
the one champion. There is no others.
There really is one champion, and it is Bangalore. If she were to survive Apex Legends, it'd probably be her.
If Bangalore was a real person, she would probably wear a fedora and say some bullshit like "nice guys finish last" or whatever, because she's just legitimately really good and not very popular for no reason. Right? She's good. She's fun to play. She's cool. She is a tutorial for the game, explaining everything that didn't need to be explained.
Yes, like guns, how they function.
Keaton does a good impression of her.
I don't, but okay.
Keaton is the only one that is brave enough to do an impression of her on camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Weapon
get
free.
I think we've already.
Example.
I think we've already.
Jeez, always the first. All right, well, there goes my career. So. Routinely, I see in discussion videos and posts and stuff, everyone's like, Bangalore, she's A tier. I don't play her, but she's good. I recommend that you do play her because she's pretty good, especially on our newest map, Olympus. Is my brain dead? I think it's dead.
It's died. It's deceased.
It's called Olympus, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Olympus.
There's Olympus, World's End.
I had the feeling that it wasn't correct, and I don't want to feel that way anymore. Help me. Yeah, so, because she, despite not being a movement legend, she is a movement legend. Right?
She is in the way that's like,
yeah,
I call indirect.
She
like, she becomes mobile in the fight.
I mean, it's not a jump pad, it's a zip line, but when there's a bunch of open space, you need to put some cover down so you don't get shot. I mean, you can blind people, you can drop it on top of yourself to heal, you can put it in a choke point or in a building to become entirely insufferable. I mean, those are all possibilities.
You can drop 2 at the same time while your team's trying to fight, Keaton.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to talk about it. Doing that definitely won't help you win. It's not the that's not the way it was meant to be done. It can work, and it's a problem. It works like 1 out of 10 times. You always want to try it just in case it'll work again.
Giving him the shimmy.
The true way to get the most out of her is definitely to use her smokes for cover. And so in their original, like, first ever video appearance where the devs talked about design, they said that that her point of her ult was it's a rolling barrage, World War I style. That it drops, you run through it, and then it blows up. And so you use it to charge. That is not how you use it. It cannot be used that way. It's just Gibraltar's ult, but worse. Which is totally fine because it's a shorter cooldown. Like, you do not use it to run. Do not use it to like, charge people. Because it has friendly fire. They don't get killed, but they still take stun damage. So you drop on just like Gibraltar, you drop on the people who are being revived, but you drop on people who can't run away. Dropping on the enemy team will give your team the chance to reposition, reset, re-release Skyrim on another platform. You know, all the things you do.
Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Anyways, Sean, what was did you have any other questions for
I was gonna ask how you
How
felt
do you
about
Bangalore
her.
in everyday life? Here's the thing about Bangalore, like, no one has anything to say about her because no one ever plays her. She's good, guys. I swear she's good. You gotta try her out. Just give Bangalore a try. Hashtag, it's 2021. Give Bangalore a try.
Alright. There's not really much to say about Bangalore, so... Moving on. Controversy number 2.
She's the legend with no one has any strong opinions about.
Caustic.
We all agree she's good and none of us play her. Except for me, I play her. Caustic. Ooh, Caustic. The one that everyone has lots of strong opinions about. The anti-Bangalore.
Here's the most controversial opinion about Caustic, is that he's such a broken champion and his gas will kill you, and I'm here to go. Hold the f*** on and let's talk about this.
Have you
Alright,
seen me play Caustic?
That
is such a fucking lie. Right there.
Let's talk about the gas trap. Literally, 2 ways to deal with it. One is to shoot it in the ground. The other, you go around it, and you don't even touch it, laddie. You don't have to push on the gas.
Do not go into places where you could be trapped. Just don't.
Don't go inside ever.
Run into a high
Just
ground
don't.
open scenario.
Just don't even walk. Just stand still.
Just try it in everywhere.
They can't get you if you don't move.
Season 6 or something, they changed it so it used to be that his gas would blind you. Alright, in season 7, and they changed it so okay, no more blind, but you're still slow, and they increase your damage. And because, like they said, they want the gas to represent a legitimate risk. If the gas is not threatening, if it doesn't stun you, if it doesn't put you at a disadvantage,
then he's
then there's
Wattson.
no point, right? Then it's literally useless.
If the gas doesn't stun you or do any damage, then he's just Wattson.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said, and it's also very true.
It really is. Like, yes, Caustic is a defensive character. 15%
I like
reduction
Wattson.
buff.
I was a Wattson main for a very long time.
Caustic!
I genuinely
Having
like
a
playing
crush on
her.
a legend does not make them good.
Her electric fence doesn't do anything. Other than like maybe scares some people to like stop, but like I've gotten pushed so many times when I was Wattson.
If you want to nerf Wattson, just give her a Brooklyn accent. You know, people only play her because they like her. I'm sorry, this is the truth. It's a hard truth. You don't want to admit it.
She's the Xenoblade Chronicles of the Apex world.
Yes.
Well, now.
Oh, did you think as a Smash? God frickin' damn it.
Wattson and Smash, dude. Oh my god. That'd be awesome. Oh, I'd pay money to see that. I would buy a whole extra thing just to have Wattson as a playable character in Smash. They're adding it on the Switch.
We're going back to the pin needle argument. People hate Caustic because his ult works really well in pin needles.
So if you remember the discussion about counterplay, the main issue with Caustic is his ult, because there is no counterplay. See, there is a very look at all of the abilities that the legends have. We've been going over them so far, but what have you noticed? This Apex Legends is not Overwatch. They don't have abilities that just do direct damage. I mean,
dude, I'm another.
The only other way, which I've just demonstrated, to counter a Caustic is to pick a f***ing Caustic.
That's always the most awkward part of it, okay? I'd like to point that out. If you're playing Caustic and you trap the place and somebody set off a trap and it's another Caustic, then what are you supposed to do? You just look at each other. Like, oh, this isn't doing anything.
So that bothers me on a fundamental, from a design standpoint, from a, you know, I watched every extra credits video twice standpoint.
It's like
that bothers me.
It
don't think
is
it's that big of an issue though.
okay. Seeing another caustic in your gas is like making eye contact with someone else while driving. It is the most awkward thing ever.
You could try adding a delay onto it, you know, make it so that it explodes after, so the grenade beeps and then it lands, and then the gas comes out. That kind of defeats the purpose.
You could add you know how they added like the what is it the armories? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, armories.
I remember it saying armories in the patch notes.
Explosive.
Yeah, the explosive holds.
Armor holds. Yeah, or explosive holds.
You know
Yeah.
how they added the armor holds? You could add an item in the armor holds that's like a gas mask. So if you break open an armor hold, there's always a gas mask in that armor hold, and then people would have at least some sort of chance and a way
Like
of
it would
defending
prevent
themselves.
the
That would then that would be cool. I like new items, of course. My concern with that is that it's difficult for readability. Caustic isn't going to know when you have a gas trap, and it means that later on, all of the gas masks are going to get funneled to the best players, and so by end game, gas doesn't work anymore. And the fundamental part of his character is that
sorry.
Enemies don't fight you in the gas. If enemies fight you in the gas, they lose. That's how Caustic works. So allowing him to enter gas, I don't think it would work to balance him. I don't know if that would be.
It could have a certain like damage, you know, like you can choose when
50%
when to activate it, and then it has a damage cap. So say it adds like 50 armor, but it's only specifically for gas, you know, damage. Like it doesn't take any damage from getting shot, unless you, or wait, like you could have it so that you can activate it, and then when it's activated, that's the extra. You could hotkey the activation so that if a caustic threw a gas.
Well, we're kind of out of buttons on a controller. So how would you?
Ask Cortana.
I hate how much of a real solution that would be. Thanks, I hate it. Is all I can say.
Hey Cortana, put on my gas mask.
Now with Kinect integration.
Gas mask activated.
What I would do instead is still have the ult, still have it make a gas cloud, but make it a smaller gas cloud, right? It starts off a little small bubble, and just like with it's just like with you know, Fuse's ult, how when he drops fire, the first ticks of it are only really light. Maybe say when the ult gets dropped on you, it doesn't slow you at first, and it does very low damage, and then the gas cloud expands, and if you don't move, then you will start taking serious damage and be slow. I think that would be the best way to do it. You know, it draws upon, you know, conventions that are already present in other ults, you know, with the airstrikes, how they're like, it's highly dangerous if you don't move, so be sure to move. Would give you a little bit more counterplay. I think it would still be mad, but at what point is it your fault for going to the gas traps? Like, a lot of people just do not want to have to deal with the fact that they can't enter certain rooms. Like, that is the nature of a defensive hero, and not everyone's ready for it. And by hero, I mean legend. And by legend, I mean, Spartan. I can't do words.
You weren't
Words are hard.
confusing enough.
Oh, hey, Sam, when did you show up?
Here's a Sam.
What a podcast!
So
Sam hasn't placed Caustic. How does it feel fighting Caustic?
I completely sympathize with the feeling that that fighting Caustic is incredibly irritating. His basic skill affects such a wide area, and it makes it incredibly annoying to sort of deal with. And so I think he just has way too much control over the battlefield, since he can make such huge areas of denial. It's just, I don't know. Used correctly, I feel like it's overpowered.
You know what I would like then? What if Smokes from Bangalore could get rid of caustic gas?
That's like the funnest. That's like the best part about playing Caustic, is that if a Bangalore throws down her smoke, you can also throw down a gas trap, and then nobody knows that it's there.
I mean,
I've
such
gotten
a
like
nasty
full.
combo.
I know it's a dick move. I know it's such a dick move, but
no,
like
you're valid. You're valid.
I've gotten like multiple squad wipes from an enemy Bangalore popping a smoke and me just popping my ult into that smoke.
But should you have gotten those kills? That's the question. It was fun, but was it good for the game?
Yes.
It was good for me. So therefore, it's good for the game because
What's good for me is good for the game.
Yeah. I'm
All right.
a perfect human being in every sort of way, and
Yes, I agree.
you need to understand this, Keaton. That anything that affects me is what goes.
No,
You know?
I agree. But hear me out. If not Bangalore's smoke, what if thermite grenades could ignite the gas and burn it away? You know,
like the thermite would cause like a reaction,
yeah,
and it would
be
like
like,
explode.
"Oh, it's a chemical reaction. Maybe it wouldn't like explode and kill someone, but
Okay,
like,
okay, never do that. Never do that caustic impression again.
you can't stop me.
Kidding me?
I agree with that. Like there's some sort of chemical compound in his Nox gas that causes for if fire were to be near it, so like thermites or fuses ult, then it would, you know, cause an explosion. It would do damage to everybody around you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I do worry because a lot of it might doing damage might make it like might hinder your squad. You know, because one of the components of this game is no friendly fire, and you put gas down and then it gets ignited. You're gonna get flamed in chat. I was like, oh my god, you stupid caustic! You farted on us and you got us killed. But if not, it might be fun. It could be a risk and reward. Maybe it just hurts caustic and no one else. That'd be hilarious. But ultimately, having some kind of interaction with items that already exist that can counter the smoke. You know? And if you and obviously you have 6 gas traps, 3 of 1 4 at a time. So if you don't like people burning your gas, just throw my traps.
If we're done with caustic, the next legend is Mirage.
I love Mirage.
The
He's
quote
underpowered, but he does not need any changes. He does not.
quote unquote
Mirage
the
is
worst
perfect.
character in the game according to most.
You know what? I think there's gonna be a worse character. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, a hierarchy
my
will
God,
always
he
be the
hit me
bottom,
for it.
and I think that's a good place. Mirage is great in the bottom. He is a great bottom.
Yeah, he's fun even if he's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I genuinely, like, I don't hate him. I don't play him that often unless I have, like, a requirement. But he's like, genuinely just, like, a fun character.
Yeah, he's incredibly fun. He's also really good. You guys just don't know it.
His
Skill in
He's good at what he
to-
does.
His skill in to value out is kind of off center. You know, you can someone who's very skilled at bamboozling folks, really good at playing Mirage, may not be, you know, reaching their full potential with him. They might be better with another legend, but he is very powerful. You know, his cloaking medic ability is useful. His ability to make the game completely unreadable by covering it in holograms is not to be trifled with. It's legitimately good. The main issue is that he uses a mechanic that a lot of other legends don't do. He's all about perception and performance and, you know, putting on a show. And he tests your ability to discern things. You know, so if you're a boomer and you can't keep up with stuff, he's the bane of your existence. But if you're a zoomer and you've already beat me 3 times in your imagination, you know, you can probably pretty easily pick out who too. Like, you notice when there's a bunch of holograms, some animations get copied, but not all of them. And obviously the one that's shooting is the one that's the real one. If he's bad, that's fine. He's my kind of bad.
He really is special.
He's
All right.
like the quote unquote. He's trash, but he's my trash.
He
Yes.
is the VGHS of legends.
That
Yes.
is the most true statement I think I've ever heard.
Oh my god, is
you
Mirage
seen-
secretly Brian D after he grew up?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, no.
All right, moving on. Here comes.
He's Games Dean.
Welcome back
here
to another
comes-
episode of Force Deafening Keaton.
Yes. All right. Next legend we have is our good old smoke grass, eat ass, live fast is Octane, and Octane recently actually got a massive buff when it comes to his jump pad, which was a key core to Octane. I mean, they've had to buff him in the past with his HP regen and whatever, but this season Octane really is starting to shine with those jump pads because they come up so frequently, they last forever.
I would expect an Octane nerf coming soon, because Octane is actually the best legend in the game right now. He is S tier. People don't realize it, but Octane defines this current meta. That might be a little inflammatory and exaggerated, but like...
He really is good. Like,
his jump pad has so much mobility. Like,
and
his regular hit is good.
He's zooming. He's just
regular,
gone.
His fast movement and his health regeneration, those are good features. Like, those, I'm not gonna diss on them. But his jump pad is so incredibly good. He always has it, and it is the be-all, end-all of team movement. No ability, like, sure, Race Portal is safe, you know, Zipline is precise, lots of verticality and availability with, you know, the pick-me-up from What's-Her-Face Potato Restaurant. Horizon.
We'll come back to her later. We have a special prize.
We'll reach her later. But
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
We have a special thing for her. We have a, you know.
Yeah. We at UWP have a special respect for her.
And it comes with a long backstory.
Not given away. Not given away. It'll be a surprise.
For who?
It will be a surprise. It will be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise for Sam.
Sam's never seen it. Well, so the jump pad, it's a combination of having incredible mobility, incredible safety in the ability that you can change directions, control your vector, and double jump. And it's just always up. He never doesn't have it. It's like a 90-second cooldown, so you can have it in every fight, multiple times in one fight. There's no, when it comes to using the jump pad, there is no choice. His jump pad is just a second ability.
I will say my opinion on him is that from someone who pretty much mained Stim in Titanfall 2, I love Octane. I don't like the community, just like Wraith, the community and the character are two different things. I love playing Octane. He is so fun.
I love playing Octane, I hate playing with him.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Oh, let's not even forget about the whole team composition you can use with him. You know, Octane plus Revenant
is such a hyper-aggressive combo, and it's scary.
So powerful and ranked. People are complaining about it in Reddit and stuff. That is the meta that's going to define this game. It's the Revenant Octane. You know,
if you're playing safe, there's always a Revenant in Octane coming to gank you and beat you ass.
he is the new Pathfinder, and he is the be-all end-all of team mobility, and being able to launch halfway across the map, be shot, and then go back across the map, and then relaunch yourself. The game is not ready for that. It's awesome. It's fun. Is it fair? Hell no. He's good, but kept in check with the fact that he's not in my game right now because he's disconnected.
Agreed. Alright.
I'd love to have you on my team if you stayed.
Yeah.
Alright. Next legend, and this is up for debate for one of the worst legends on certain Reddit pages, as well as one of the most boring
as well as
legends.
Keaton's opinion.
Well as Keaton's
I hate France and I hate Wattson.
Yes, it's Wattson, our little static defender.
Well, France hates you too.
Oh, they do. They really hate me. I got a bad grade in art.
Lol.
That's all
so,
France's art.
Watson has...
France.
I took French in middle school.
I take that back. I had actually a really good grade, but we got no arguments. That's a tirade. That's a tangent, not a tirade. It's a tangent. Let's not get too personal.
My bio teacher was French in 6th grade.
Anyways, Apex Legends.
Guys. So
anyways, France.
Here's the main... I swear to God. Here's the main complaint with Wattson. Wattson's playstyle does not match Apex Legends.
Yeah.
She's one of the legends who gets countered really hard and doesn't offer much.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, she's definitely a twist on the Caustic defensive formula.
Her pylon is something that I love to do. I like
Yeah.
playing Wattson. I
Yeah.
genuinely
She's
enjoy playing
great.
Wattson.
You are the only person.
Her pylon
the
is really good because grenade spamming fucking annoys the hell out
yeah.
of me. And she's a great fuse. I think
Yeah,
she's
she's
a
a
lot
fuse
more
counter.
Is
prevalent
that
because
why you
she's a
tell
fuse
Sean
counter.
to stop doing the grenade launch?
Not nearly
really
as much
does like
as Horizon, though.
It annoys the
Yeah.
fuck out of me. Okay?
He
It's
he-
not
he-
it grenade spamming does not require any actual
Yeah.
knowledge or skill in the game. It just requires you to hold 40 grenades and throw them all at once. Very
Wattson
fun.
exists, to counter people like Fuse, Revenant, Caustic. She puts in a pylon, the pylon stops, is a no fun zone, where nothing fun happens to you in that zone.
But it's
your
a
health
safe zone.
regenerates.
It helps you with safety.
Yeah, underrated feature of it is that it cuts down the cooldowns of your fences, so
Oh,
putting
yeah.
a pylon will let you lock up a room real fast.
And you can put down 6 pylons at once. Up to 6 pylons at once.
Provided, so that's one of the things. Just like carrying multiple sites, people thought the devs thought you would put down multiple pylons. People don't do that. It's always an ability. People just, for one reason or another, don't do that.
And her ultimate accelerants auto do her,
Yeah,
her ult. She automatically gets her ult.
She's a balanced character, and she's good for the game. She counteracts grenade spam. She counteracts chip damage. She's very popular in pro play because she is just so powerful.
She's the one reason
low
we
win
have
rate
played
on
this
low
game.
skill levels, and people don't like to play her because she's not fun. Her fences feel bad to use. They're stiff, they're precise, and people just don't go in them. They walk through them. No one plays her for the fences. They play her for the pylon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I would say to change her, I have multiple ideas. I have a couple
and
ideas
tell
that are
them
mutually
most of these.
exclusive.
May I
Barrier
just say, before we do anything,
Yeah.
all of the voice actors in Apex Legends are really cool. The voice actor for Wattson is especially cool. I love her.
That doesn't make sense.
She's, was it Justine Huxley?
Shout out to Justin Huxley. Follow her on
Shout
Instagram.
out.
So to fix her,
Happy Passover.
I would say she's very powerful, but she's not doing what people expect her to. Her whole negate grenades is not what people want to play her for. So I would say make her work the way the community, especially at lower levels, thinks she works. So they said one of the things they said back in like season 6 or whatever is that no one who's good at the game actually walks into fences. And so increasing the damage isn't that big of a deal, but it might make her more fun to lower levels. I would say her fences aren't super great because they don't give you a lot of solace. They get grenaded, they get walked around, and they can be shot through. So you put a Caustic trap down on a door, the door isn't opening. You put a Wattson fence over the door gets open and you get shot. It's just blocking a door is just way more important than zapping someone who might want to go through a door. So what I would say is make her fence either block grenades like her ultimate, throwing a grenade through the door stops it, or through the fence stops it, or
Personally, sorry, go ahead.
alternatively, make her fence impassable. Make it so that if you walk into the fence, you get zapped and then you get spit back out. So that if you want to get through it, you have to destroy it. So if I put a fence over a doorway or I put a fence over like an elevator shaft, then no one else is coming up. It's not that they get stunned, it's not that they get hurt, it's that I can put that and then not worry about that sightline. Because ultimately, the ability to shoot through her walls and stuff and move through them if you're committed, especially with a Revenant ult, kind of prevents them from achieving their full potential of, giving you breathing room. Because you can't breathe. You still have to watch those sightlines.
I do agree with that her fences definitely still need a buff because they're not intimidating enough. People will still run through them and not care because they don't do enough. It's like, with a Caustic trap, it's more you're trying to be safer when you're rushing a Caustic because you know that's life or death right there. You get hit by a Caustic trap, you're pretty much done. If that's a tight space with a Caustic in it, you're done. you know?
Yeah, but
With
there-
Wattson, that's not the case. You can walk through a Wattson trap and still be just fine.
Well, yeah, because they're different kind of characters.
Tossing up some amps cover.
I would say that Caustic makes death zones. He makes a zone that is his zone and entering is death. And I would say that so he's like he's like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone, right? He's Kevin McAllister. I don't watch movies, but he makes a death trap. He makes a death zone that cannot be entered, or if it does be entered, you die. And I think rather than making her say her also making a death zone that can't be that if you enter you die, I would have it that makes her establish a zone that can't be entered in the first place. But she creates these barriers that can't be walked through, or maybe you bump into it, it shuts off the fence, you get pushed back and stunned, and then another person can walk through it, but then that one person is out of the action and prevented from going through. My other suggestion would be to change your pylon. Just like how Lifeline has the ability to generate health out of thin air, her pylon can generate, shields out of thin air, passively and very slowly. And what I find is that very rarely do people actually use that passive healing, because you're in a fight, you need to pop the shield cells, and shield cells aren't rare. So what I would say is that either make it heal you more the closer you are to it and less the further away, so that staying near the pylon will make you get up faster, or let people, hold X on the pylon or E if you're on PC, just like how you would a death totem, and that will consume 1/3 of its duration and fully recharge your shields. That way you can plot it down after a fight to reset, but if you use it in the middle of a fight, it's a risk for reward. If I sick from this pylon, then I will lose my grenade protection. And also, that can also help with the stagnation. If I knock off someone's shields and I'm fighting a Wattson and I know, okay, I blew off their shields, they're going to use the pylon. Now, by shooting off their shields, I may not have killed them, but I have compromised their position because now they're going to choose whether or not to use their resources or to consume their pylon.
Speaking of legends that require some sort of strategy, Crypto.
Yes, Crypto's the next
I love
legend.
him. He's very fun.
He's awesome.
Crypto's drone.
My
If
mom-
I'm
It's
playing
thinking
Recon,
means-
I'm playing Crypto.
My favorite suggestion
self.
for how to change him has been that he throws his drone out initially, and so you can just sort of have it hover over an area and sort of directionally give you overview instead of having to position it, which takes so long.
I think
Yep.
I think having that positioning sort of part to it, it sort of like limits him.
Oh, yeah. From a
'Cause
big
then-
brain design perspective, from on paper, he encourages you to, be more not reactive but proactive, be more observant, be more cautious, just like Rampart. And while I like that, I agree that him having an autopilot drone is not necessary, but it would make him more fun. It would make him more approachable to people who want to play aggressively, who want to play actively, who don't have teammates who will wait for them and support them, right? When you're playing randos, they might just leave you behind, and then, you got to think about people who don't have mics, who don't have coordination, or who are playing with 12-year-olds. There needs to be utility there.
Yeah,
I
but
find
you
it
can't
interesting-
make every character catered to that one person.
I mean, yeah, but you can make some of them.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not-
there's definitely some characters that
I'm
are
not
like
trying to make
catered to
him
that person.
approachable to
But I think if we
12-year-olds.
just
I'm trying to make him be usable when your team is 12-year-olds. Make him less dependent on other people. I don't necessarily. I like Sam's idea. I don't necessarily think he needs it, but I wouldn't say no to it.
I would
I think-
say Sam's idea is a tiny bit OP for him, because I think that a big part of him is staying back. It's being the eyes in the sky, not necessarily going in and running in straight just like Octane. It's more sticking back and trying to get as much information for your team as possible.
That's
I
what-
like the
and
idea
so
of him,
having-
but staying back is fucking boring, dude.
It
I
is.
can't-
Don't play crypto. Don't play crypto.
Yeah.
If you want to be
They're better. He
okay,
has so much potential, and
if-
they're wasting it.
If you
The
want to
way
be
I-
an aggressive player and still get information, play Bloodhound.
Agreed.
You don't
The way
have to.
that I
I'm
use-
not forcing you to play crypto.
Yeah, I do worry that I'm with Daniel here. I do worry that as much as I love that buff, it'll be so much fun. It might just supplant Bloodhound, because Bloodhound is crypto on demand.
Yeah.
the way that I use crypto is usually it's in phases. I use a drone to scout, I find the enemies, I then use the drone to annoy them until they're done shooting at me or they're fighting my team, then I park the drone in a good spot where it can surveil the battlefield, and then I go in.
Yeah, that's the way to
And
play
so-
crypto, is that his drone is a distraction. You know, it's hard to focus on a battle when you're constantly getting that drone detected, like in the area. You know, it's just it's something I'm very good at, which is minor annoyances.
I know.
Not
and so-
major, minor.
So the autopilot drone may not be overpowered, because, like,
But
you can't park it in a good spot. It'll just fly in and get shot. So it may be balanced in the fact that, you know, you can throw it, but if the enemy is paying attention, they'll shoot it down. And if you really want to keep the drone safe, then you gotta fly it yourself. That could be fair.
But I think that it balances him out because it takes him out of the equation. You know, like your point of playing crypto is to get that information for your team so that your team can go in and do that. And having that annoyance is that you're still in the battle, but you're not, you know, specifically in the battle. You're at a safe distance to where if you need to, you can go in and pick up your team's banner and auto-res them. But you're taken out of the equation, if that makes sense. I don't know how much that
Yeah, I
makes
definitely see that. What I'm surprised by is how well I do while playing at crypto. You know, crypto reminds you to get good at your gunplay fundamentals. When his drone is down, he has nothing. He's just a human, and yet you can still do well, which proves how good the gunplay is. That you don't need abilities to be good at it.
So then, what's the point of the abilities?
The abilities are fun, but you don't need them, right?
Yeah.
That even without abilities, you can still kick ass. And that's a great thing about the game's design philosophy. Like, in Overwatch, if you took away a character's abilities, they're not usable. You know, if Sombra can't use her abilities, it dies. Well, I think, Sam, your idea is very popular with the community, and I think it's highly likely that we'll see something like that introduced. I agree with Daniel's concerns about it, but I think that the winds are blowing in Sam's direction.
I
think-
just don't think it's gonna take away from the character.
I
At least for
kind of
me,
agree. I
I
see
don't
that.
think it's gonna be
But
fun.
whether or not I think that enough people are going to override us. Because I don't think that a Respawn agrees that it's a bad idea. I think they might actually cave to that.
It's understandable.
One thing I would say about crypto is that his heirloom should definitely be his drone, and that you just slap people with it.